Hey guys, it's TwoFreeGames or Adam, and I am finally back from ZDC, and that means it's time for another COD Zombies video. So today, we'll be going over 10 things only BO2 Zombie players will remember. So on our last Zombies Top 5, our goal was to beat 1,048 likes. What did you guys do? You guys came out and dropped 1,902 likes on that video, beating our like goal by 850 likes. You guys are absolutely insane. So the task for today's video is going to be a tall one. We have to try to beat 1,902 likes, but you know what? I know you guys can do it. You guys have been killing it on all of the Zombies con lately, so let's keep that Zombies hype going, and let's see how many more likes we can get on today's video. And besides that, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the number 10 spot. Starting things off here in the number 10 spot, we have the forgotten equipment of COD Zombies, and that is the EMP grenade from BO2 Zombies. And honestly, guys, I don't understand why this even exists within Zombies. When you really look at the EMP grenade and what it does, it makes no sense. You gotta scratch your head and go, why was this added to COD Zombies? Why does it have to be in the box, right? It makes no sense, because the only good thing that this does is gets rid of the Avogadro really fast on transit, but besides that, it just turns off perk machines. It kind of stuns zombies, which is kind of useless because as soon as you sprint or shoot, the zombies wake up, but it really has a little to no use. So the EMP grenades is one of those weird things within BO2 Zombies that really, if you only played back then, you'll remember. So speaking of transit, if you were somebody who played BO2 Zombies when it first came out, transit was, I can't say it was considered a good map, but it was considered to be a lot better of a map than it is at this point. Right now, transit is hands down the worst map in all of COD Zombies. I think, 9.9 out of 10 people agree with that statement. But back when BO2 first dropped, transit wasn't that bad. When BO2 first came out, I played transit like a madman. Now, obviously, back then, it was tedious as hell to play. Everything was annoying on the map, but still, I didn't know how bad it was. Then DLCs came out. We got maps like Mob of the Dead, Buried, and Origins. And then we all looked back at transit and we went, wow, that map was horrendous. In the number 8 spot, so we talked about how transit was viewed differently when it first dropped. Same thing with Mob of the Dead. Mob of the Dead was a really tough map when it first came out. Not a lot of people, not everybody loved this map right away. Last year, when I went to Treyarch Studios to record some Zombie Chronicles early gameplay, I had a chance to sit down and talk to Blundell about Mob of the Dead, and one really cool thing he told me was, before the release of this map, it was actually nicknamed Shang 2.0 within the studio, just because Shang was a map that people didn't like all that much, and it was a very tough, close quarters map, and that's exactly what Mob of the Dead is. Obviously today, Mob is probably the best map, or one of the best maps in all of COD Zombies, but when it first dropped, when it first released, a lot of the community didn't see it that way. And next up, in the number 7 spot, the game modes in Black Ops 2 Zombies were one of the best things to ever happen to COD Zombies. Now, I'm sure a lot of you watching right now have heard of Grief and heard of Turned, but playing these game modes during, BO2's prime was some of the, most enjoyable moments in COD Zombies. The reason why these game modes were so enjoyable was because back then it was something different. Even today, it's still something different because we still only have the regular survival mode within BO3 Zombies. We have no game modes, but back then, having, Turn come out in DLC 1, it was exciting. It was something different, and that's one thing that BO4 Zombies really needs. We need some more game modes, even though, looking back now, Grief and Turn aren't amazing modes, but having some other mode within Zombies is really nice and really refreshing. Into the number 6 spot, Treyarch trolled the hell out of the Zombies community back in Black Ops 2 with PhD Flopper, and one perk that everybody wanted in BO2 was PhD because it made guns like the ray gun or the Mustang and Sally's or any explosive gun incredibly good. Of course, we originally saw PhD Flopper back in Black Ops 1 Zombies. It was on all the DLC maps, and of course, going from BO1 to BO2 Zombies, we all kind of hoped or expected PhD Flopper would come back, but unfortunately it didn't. We had the troll on Doris with the PhD in the elevator shaft, then we had a Mob of the Dead, it was on the docks, but of course, we did have PhD in Grief on Mob of the Dead, and then we had PhD as a perk on Buried, and then we finally had the actual PhD perk in the Wonder Fizz on Origins, but the thing is, PhD wasn't really all that useful or necessary at Origins, so we didn't get it until we didn't need it, and then we haven't seen it in Zombies since then. In the number 5 spot, if you didn't play Black Ops 2 Zombies back in the day, you'll never understand the Nuketown Rage Fest, because back in Nuketown Zombies and BO2, the perks spawned in a little bit differently than regular maps. So the way it worked is, as you went through the rounds, you would have different perks and Pack-a-Punch spawned in. If you were playing solo, you would always get Revive on round 1, and then in co-op, you'd get a random perk on round 1. But in solo, it was one of the most frustrating things in the world because sometimes you wouldn't get Jug to spawn in until like round 20. Now, don't get me wrong, Nuketown is an amazing map. Those perk spawn-ins are both really challenging, but yet incredibly frustrating because when you have a Pack-a-Punch machine spawn in on round 3, when you don't need pack weapons, it can be really frustrating, but at the same time, Nuketown will make you a much better Zombies player. And next up in the number 4 spot, I think Black Ops 2 has hands down the most broken gun in all of COD Zombies, of course. That is the SMR. So the SMR is kind of known to be a really bad gun within Zombies. Now, it isn't as bad as people think it is, or damage-wise, it's not that bad. The thing that makes the SMR such a head-scratcher is, first of all, the accuracy makes no sense with this gun. You can be aiming down sights, and your shots are just going all over the place for no reason. Now, the next thing that makes the SMR such a troll weapon is when you pap this thing for the very first time, you will have a total of 420 shots in reserve, 30 in a clip. If you Pack-a-Punch it again, have a new attachment, all of a sudden, for no reason, your ammo gets cut in half. So then you have 210 shots and then 30 shots in a clip. So if you're going to use this gun, if you're going to pap it, for the love of God, don't double pap because you have your ammo cut in half for no reason. If you didn't play Zombies back in Black Ops 2 Zombies, you will never understand the struggle and the confusion and the frustration of the ranking up system. During the life cycle of BO2 Zombies, everyone was trying to figure out exactly how you rank up in that game, and the one thing you'll thought was you want to get as many kills and as least amount of downs as possible, but of course, that wasn't actually how you were ranking up in BO2 Zombies. Jimmy Zielinski actually came out after the release of the next COD and said, alright, you rank up by having a high amount of rounds and a low amount of downs in a single game. So for those of you who have like a bunch of downs and your down to round ratio isn't great, getting those shotguns is next to impossible. Next up in the number 2 spot, if you did not play Zombies back when BO2 first dropped, this is something that you will definitely not know because during the course of the year, there are a lot of changes made to the mode, and one massive change was to the weapons. The biggest changes with all the guns in BO2 Zombies are the recoil. So when BO2 first came out, I swear to God, guys, every single gun was a laser beam. Like, it had little to no recoil. It was so easy to get headshots and all that stuff. But now, almost all the guns have a lot of recoil, and a couple of guns that come to mind are the Hammer. Like, the Hammer was just crazy good, but now it has so much recoil. The RPD, the MTAR, the, Type 25, all these guns, like, legit had no recoil, when now, almost every single gun in BO2 Zombies has a healthy amount of recoil. Last but not least, probably the biggest thing in BO2 Zombies, or the one thing that only people who actually played back then will remember are the perma-perks. Now, of course, BO2 Zombies has an insane amount of perma-perks, but it was the hunt for these that made it so unique and so special. Only you guys who played zombies back in BO2 or started with Transit will truly remember this crazy fever that the community had trying to discover all of these crazy perks hidden within BO2 Zombies. I remember myself running around Transit like 20 times figuring out if there was a perma stamina up or finding if there's a perma jug or PhD or mule kick. There was so many things that people were doing trying to figure out these perma perks in zombies, and this is one thing that only BO2 players will remember. So there we have it, guys. Those are 10 things only BO2 zombie players will remember, and for some reason I'm like losing my voice right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the video right here. If you guys want to see more zombies content, make sure to hit that sub button, and besides that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.